Hi everyone, welcome back to Eleanor's Restoration. Welding. So it's been over 2 years since I last welded, not through choice but through injury, as my regular subscribers know. So I'm getting to the stage now where I'm going to see if I can weld without my injury playing up. Whether it does, we'll soon find out. Anyway, the welder I used previously wasn't mine, it was borrowed from a friend. It's this one in front of us. It's the Clarke Pro 90. And to be honest, it wasn't too bad. It done a job to an extent when it worked, but the wire feed was a bit inconsistent. The gas flow wasn't great, and I just needed something a bit more, to be honest. So the last time I welded before the welder actually gave up, I was trying to get a half floor in. And I was trying to just do plug welds, just to get a close enough fit on this tunnel on the floor so I could then seam weld here and then on the underside. But like I say, it was playing up. It was just not coming through enough with the wire feed, coming out at random speeds, and the more I tried, the worse it got. So I should have stopped, but I was keen to get going. There's a lesson: if it's not working properly or if it's not going as it should, just stop. Because now if I go ahead with this half floor, I'm going to have to clean all this off, cut all this back, get it all re-drilled and get it ready for where I was. The plan is though, once I've got the welder set up and got it to the settings I want, after I've done quite a bit of practice, I'm basically then going to get this shell braced up with, you can't see it too well here, but box section. So I've got inch by 2mm box section to basically make the frame solid, because it's then going on the jig. So I'm going to do a separate video covering the jig, and this one's about getting the welder set up and getting the frame braced up ready for the jig. Because I'm taking away most of the floor, and this floor is only really held in by some screws at the moment, welded on the toe board and spot welded along here. The heel board's still unattached. So yeah, I need strength in the shell before I put it on the jig. So the welder I decided to go for, as I've shown in previous videos, is the Clarke 160TM Turbo. The power on this thing is a lot greater than on the Pro 90, and to be honest, for cars I'll never use that power, nowhere near that power. It's always going to be on the lowest settings for what I need it for, otherwise it's just going to burn through. But I got this at a really good deal. The one it was between was this one or the 151, which is what Sean C and Ben from Mini Madness has got. But I got this at such a good deal, I thought for the extra money it was worth getting it, because it comes with a built-on trolley and it also comes pre-set for the large bottles of gas. So I've already partially set this up. All I've done so far is put the rear wheels on. There's a bar that goes through, there's a squash washer that goes on each side, and the outer caps. Front are two swivel wheels here and here, these just screw into the underside, and the top handle here, which is just 4 bolts. Plug. There's a bit of debate on for these. So Clarke, for this model, say that this requires a 16 amp plug because of the high settings that it can go to. If I was using it to its full highest settings, then yeah, I would put a 16 amp plug on it and I would get a 16 amp supply put in the garage. I've had a quote and it's not too much, to be honest. It's only £70 for the sockets and installation, so I may get that done. But at the moment, because I'm running this in the lowest settings, I'm fine with a 13 amp plug, because it saves getting the 16 amp supply fitted and just time at the moment. I've just got so many other things I need to be getting done. So yep, that will be fine with the 13 amp, as long as I'm not using it on the full settings. What I also have with it, I've got the Hobby Weld gas. So I went for the, I believe this is the 9 litre. And I've went for Hobby Weld 15, so it's basically the 15% argon mix. Because if you've got the argon mix, it gives a better weld. You can use CO2 and it is cheaper, but I've used argon before and I like this mixture. It gives a nice clean weld, so that's what I've went for. Prices vary on these. This one for a refill sits at about £35, and to hire sits at about £60 or thereabouts. Like I say, it varies depending where you get it from, but that's the rough costs on this. How long will it last? I don't know, but I'll let you know. I'm sure a few of you out there will know how long it lasts. Depends how much you use it continuously. So I have got that to fit. I've got an argon regulator which came with it, which if I'd known sooner I would have got the one with the dual gauges on, which I will, but at the moment I'm just going to fit this because although it doesn't tell you the flow rate for the gas, I can use my ears until I can get a more accurate one. So that's a bit disappointing that one comes with it. It's obviously down to cost. So the only two disappointing things I've found so far is this gauge and the fact that it doesn't come with a plug. And the other thing I needed to buy is obviously MIG welding wire. So 15 kilogram spool, MIG welding wire, and it's 0.6 millimeters. And I would say it weighs a ton, but no, it weighs 5 kilograms. So that's everything. I've still got scrap metal from before. It's just a case of getting what else needs set up and getting this thing for a test weld. I've said before, I'm not a professional welder. Don't even consider myself a beginner welder. I'm a lot better than when I first started, and I believe the only way you can get good at these things is by practice and doing and making mistakes. So yeah, like a lot of yous out there, I'm just enjoying it. I've got quite a few bits and pieces I need to weld, not just on Eleanor, but I need to do stuff on the MGF and the Morris Minor and also Ed, so this thing's going to pay for itself. Sign when you get to a certain age, you put a cushion down for your knees. Sure a lot you can relate. Others will be like, what? Right, first thing I'm going to do, now that I've got it built up to this stage, is install the reel for the MIG wire. It's pretty standard around a lot of the MIG welders, but for this model, this pulls and the door opens. Right, bit that holds it in place. This comes off. Behind it there's a spring that holds it in place. So you go, spring, and then this edge comes off. Inside washer. This reel comes off. This has got a, it's not a circle, it's got a flat edge here, so it only goes on one way. What you want to make sure when you're putting this on is the MIG welder, the wire goes in the right direction. Put it in backwards, it'll pull from underneath. It wants to go from, feed from the top from here. So You can see this here. I'm going to keep this nipped in here at the moment, otherwise you'll get what's called a bird nest everywhere. And then you would hear me swearing. Right, so this one holds it in place. This one tightens it down to get the right tension on the spool. There has to be a certain amount of drag on it. If it's too loose, whenever this let go, it would all come loose here, and it would all, again, bird's nest. So it's about playing about with the settings so it's not sticking, but it's not too loose either. If it's too loose, it just spins. If it's too tight, it's going to put strain on here and it'll probably end up snapping the wire. Next we need to get this wire through here, but we need to get this bit off first, so just in case of undoing this. Oh, not that much. That was obviously pretty loose to start with. Right, so get that down, that enables this to be lifted up. All this is a roller that crushes down on here. As I was saying before, two grooves in here, one for 0.6, one for 0.8. The one it comes out just now is for 0.6, so that's fine. So what we're going to do is get the wire fed through here, should come out here, over that groove and then into the small bit here. Easier said than done, very fiddly, because we need to keep this tight at the same time. And I also need to cut a small bit off the end here just to stop any kinking, because if it kinks it'll get caught somewhere along the line. Not very good at thread needles, but see coming out here in the groove, and that's not dancing, feeds straight through. See, it might need a little alignment help to get it through. And it will go. So push it in. The manual recommends about 15 to 20 centimetres. About there. Put this roller back down. This back up. And just basically tighten this down so it gets a grip on. Need to make sure that the wire is in the groove, because it can slip off, and if it does it'll not get a proper grip. So this needs to be tightened, not too tight, but tight enough so that it grips, and you'll get a feel for it. And it keeps this tight on the reel as well. We need to get the wire out here, but before we do that, This needs to unscrew off. Most of them unscrew. I know the one I had before does, but this one is a push release. So the shroud comes off, the tip unscrews, and switch the machine on. It's plugged in. So press this, and if everything's set up the right tensions and tightness, the wire should come through. Comes through. You can tell by that wire feed there it was a bit tight, so I'll just have to loosen that off. It's all about playing with the settings, but this comes through here, then the tip is wired through, screwed back on. Shroud back on. That's the wire fed through. So you'll know when you start welding if the wire's not coming through, if it doesn't feel right, you tighten off. You can loosen off either of these ones in here, but we'll go with that. Set up for that just now. That's the wire reel and the wire feed set up onto the gas. Right, the gas bottle we're going to secure on here first. When I welded before, I used the disposables, and you get about 10 minutes of welding time through one of the wee ones in there. Between 10 and £15 each. This will last a lot longer, and now that I've paid for the, what they call to hire it, the bottle, it's just a case of refills, so I will keep you updated how much I'm using. But this goes on, gets secured with the chain, goes through here. There, that's locked in place there. It's fairly stable like that. There we go. This little storage cap here. The regulator goes in. If it's CO2, it's a different size regulator you need, because it's a different size here. So this is purely for argon. And nip it tight so it doesn't move. Right, so this has been nipped up in here. This is still being kept shut. This is still kept closed at the moment. The only thing left to do now is the wire feed tube, and this goes in here. This is just a push fit in, and once it's in, it locks because of the fit in here. So once that's in there, that's it, ready to go. What you need to do is just open this to check for any leaks. We've got pressure there. We're looking for leaks anywhere in the system. So that's the welder setup. I did get this with it, which if you think it looks flimsy, yeah, it is flimsy. I'm never going to really use that. It might be handy for if I've got my young helper helping, he's standing in the distance, he can use this. But other than that, I've got the welding mask up there, and that's what I'll be getting used. Right, the first weld in 2 years. I've not played about with any settings yet. This is the first time I'll have used this, so I'm just going to keep it at 1 minimum. Between minimum and maximum, I would imagine, if it's like the other welder. Going to keep that between 5 and 6 at the moment, but again, I'll play about with them once I see what I like. The gas, I've fiddled about with that, and listen, if you can, if anything, that's probably a bit too much, but I'll go with how it comes, and then when I go. So there we go, very quick without setting it up. That was very quickly putting it on the lower settings and quick gas. The thing I'm pleased with is the amount of penetration on the back, given it's pretty rubbish metal, and you know, it's just a case of playing about with the settings, getting used to it, and having lots of practice and having lots of fun. So I'm going to go away and enjoy my welder, and the next time we'll look at getting the shell braced up and then getting it on the jig. So we're moving forward positively, and we'll see how much better these get from now on. So thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers!